We begin with breaking news in Cambridge. Police have a close eye on a pro-Palestinian rally at MIT. The video you're looking at there, though, is of Boston. MIT is the site of a protest encampment, one of many that have popped up at college campuses. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Glenn Jones.
And I'm Priscilla Casper. This all coming after a similar rally earlier today in Boston. We have team coverage covering both of these stories tonight. We want to begin with our NBC 10's Mary Marco. She's joining us live in Cambridge with the very latest. Mary, what's going on there?
Well, guys, things are escalating quickly here. Mass Ave was just closed down. All these protesters were standing right in, so no one could get by. Now they've moved into this area. They just set up this tent. Police presence is building. They continue chanting. They've been here for over a week, and a police raid is potentially in the air.
All eyes on Gaza. We're not backing down.
Tufts and MIT students say they're not afraid of a potential police raid.
A very important aspect of the student movement of what people are calling the student intifada is to stand up against that state violence, right? Is for us to come together and show that state violence, that the threat of state violence cannot scare us.
The Scientists Against Genocide encampment at MIT is calling on their school to stop accepting millions of dollars in research funding from the Ministry of Defense of Israel.
It's, I think, frankly unacceptable that we are doing research for that entity.
And now some alums are joining in.
It's a really brutal threat of violence on a large group of young people who are simply saying that they don't want to be supporting genocide.
Meanwhile, dozens of Emerson students watching their friends get arraigned at Boston Municipal Court.
These are my peers. These are people that I know from classes that I saw in the alley getting arrested and stuff like that.
Around 30 students taking deals to complete 40 hours of community service. Brian Hecht is a student journalist reporting on the encampments for the college paper while processing it in real time.
People are happy to see that it's being resolved in this way, at least of anything, but I think most people would say that it should have been dropped out of hand regardless, and I think people are still upset about the way that it was handled by police.
Now it's unclear if or when police will break up this encampment here at MIT. As you can see, people are still chanting and they are still protesting here at MIT. We're live. Mary Marcos, NBC 10 Boston.
All right, Mary, let's go from a scene that is escalating to one that has de-escalated. This was the scene over Boston. Sky Ranger was there, where a group of protesters marched from Emerson to the Common. The protest was peaceful, unlike some of what we've seen across the country in the past 24 hours. NBC 10's Eli Rosenberg was there at the height of the protest. He joins us live now from an Emerson building where demonstrators left something behind. Eli.
Yeah, they have all left. That happened about an hour ago, but this is what they've left behind right here. And it's Post-it notes on this Emerson building. And the Post-it notes, each of them has a different demand for Emerson. All of this started this afternoon as more than 100 people gathered near the Park Street T station right across the street from Emerson. From there, they crossed the street again and gathered in front of the Anson building, a building the organizers tell us was picked because it's where a lot of Emerson leadership has offices. All of this comes less than a week after more than 100 people were detained nearby after setting up encampments near campus. Now, as for today, the organizers tell us they're calling on Emerson to have greater financial transparency, including disclosing if it has any financial ties to Israel.
Emerson's a college that the students keep open with our tuition money. We want Emerson to divest from Israel, divest from all connections to the Israeli occupation, and in that sense, divest from genocide. We want an end to the attack on student organizers, which has escalated.
And the student organizer also tells us they are calling for an immediate ceasefire. Now, important to note, all of this today was peaceful. They walked across the street to the Common right over here, then walked back across the street. They did not block any traffic. We did not see any police. They did not say when more gatherings like what we saw out here this afternoon are planned. Live in Boston, Eli Rosenberg, NBC 10 Boston.